Welcome, everyone. This is Michael Dotterer, and you're on the dot. And we have a second show today. We've done two. The first show we did a few hours ago with my good friend Gary Terrell. And if you don't recognize the name, he was our trombone player at Stanford. So he was outstanding. And we have an amazing woman that I want to introduce you to, and we're going to get right to it because on the dot, my goal is to not talk too much. I want to share this amazing woman with you who I met. I'm thinking like it's a decade ago. Time flies when you're having fun. But let me tell you a little bit about her. Her name is Allison McLeod, and I looked at her background. It's amazing. She has started an organization called Soul Expressions Sessions. So if you want to get deep into your soul and bring out the gusto, and her focus has been on women entrepreneurs who want to take their game to the next level. And it's amazing the world we're living in right now. I'm working with a company called General Motors, and the leader, CEO of General Motors, her name is Mary Barra. She's a woman, and she runs a company that's been around for over 100 years and is a great company. It used to be said that if it's good for General Motors, it's good for America. So she's the head of General Motors, and there are a lot of great women out there that are going to be in leadership roles. And I think what's really important, I believe, as more women get into leadership roles, I think women tend to be more collaborative. And I think this whole notion of peace in our time, that, we're not fighting each other. That's going to, I think, emerge. And I think Allison's going to talk about that, hopefully. But her background, she is a health reinvention strategist. She's the former owner operator of a fitness and nutrition group called Canadian Women's Fitness. She studied at Community Economics and Social Development at Aloma, and I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I'm sorry, Algoma University. She also studied behavioral sciences, and she's at the Health Coach Institute. She studied marketing and communication at Algonquin College of Applied Arts and Technology. She studied psychology at St. Lawrence College in Ontario. And she also studied psychology at Queen's University. And what's wonderful, too, is we have the same Myers-Briggs personality. We're both in the Zodian. It's a fun term. Zodian has nothing to do with astrology, but instead of remembering the letters ENFP, we are Pegasus. So she's a Pegasus. I'm a Pegasus. And what that means is we get energy from people. We're big picture dreamers. We start our decision making from a feeling approach versus an analytical approach, and we go with the flow. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her on. But before I bring her on, one final note. This portion of On the Dot is brought to you by Numi. And I don't know if you can see that, but this is glutathione. And it's totally transformed my life. And Allison is on board as well. And this is called Swish. And this is called Numi Skin. And if you don't know anything about glutathione, you can actually go to Allison's website, which is right there at the bottom. So with that, Allison, welcome to On the Dot. Are you there? Oh, let me unmute you.
Oh,
there you go. Welcome.
There we go. Well, thank you so much. That was an awesome introduction. I'm so happy to be back again.
Well, I have to mention you're an acclaimed author in these two books that, let me get the screen a little bit bigger. Could you talk about all the books that you've written or collaborated on or that you're working on and share with our audience? What are you doing these days?
Sure. Starting with the books, a great place to start. I have written or collaborated in 4 books so far. The first two were the Wealthy Women Success Principles. And this last group was through the Becoming an Unstoppable Woman movement with She Rises Studios. The first book was on mindset. The second was the Becoming an Unstoppable Entrepreneur. And the third one, coming out in May on Mother's Day, will be Becoming an Unstoppable Mompreneur. So you're going to get in these books 26 amazing women who talk about experiences, talk about what it means to be in business. And with the Mompreneur book, it's going to be very interesting because I took a little more of my kids' approach to bouncing back between corporate and entrepreneurship. And it was a lot of fun to do. It was probably one of the hardest books to write because the other two, I could write so much about being in business and helping women. And, a lot of my education and background, like Mike said, is about feeling and the psychology and the behavior behind things and why people do what they do and helping people then build on that. So this was awesome because there's going to be 3 books that I'm in this year now coming out. The one in May, The Mompreneur. The one in September was another Wealthy Women's Success Principles on how to live a fully charged life. And there's about 10 or 12 of us in that book who it's about lifestyle. It's about, crafting your life. And that's sort of what Soul Expression Sessions is all about. And with Charlotte Howard Collins in Heart-Centered Woman Publishing, in November, we're coming out with a book and an entire new coaching program as well. And that book is the Businesswoman Spiritual Bible. And it's a success secrets to help you create a soulful business you love. So we will have an entire wonderful coaching program that's going to be very different because you'll have the 2 of us. You'll have lots of hands-on work. You'll have a lot of tactical of stuff you need to get done when you're doing your business. But then you'll also have, how do you manifest? How do you build that lifestyle? How do you build it around family and spirituality? And I love it because when we were coming up with the big picture of all this, because she's a marketing genius, that we're going to combine a lot of modalities into one and show you what it could be like to have that amazing life. Because the Soul Expression Sessions, which came out of 2020, and it was a time when I didn't know if I was going to stay a health coach or a life coach or a business coach. I was finishing my degree, which I finished in December, in community economics and social development. And what does that do? Do I get a job? I loved being an entrepreneur. So when this came up and started to unfold in 2020, it was, in a lot of prayer and a lot of meditation that I had to combine everything together because, again, it's about living that whole space. And like Mike said, there's a lot of chaos. So what I do in all 3 of the businesses that I run is, taking that chaos, the craziness, the apprehension and anxiety, and simply putting it into order. And how do you do that for yourself? And how does it make the most sense with the resources you have? Or do we find you resources? So one of the businesses that we started, New Living Wellness Services, Inc., was simply out of a need because I live in Northern Ontario. We've had a lot of professionals leave, from therapists and psychiatrists and psychotherapists. So we have people on 8-month and yearly wait lists. Well, when you have such a crazy time up here with addictions and with, abuse and a whole bunch of other things going on, we had to come up with a model where we could use Zoom and be able to match a person up here with a therapist anywhere in the world, and who are on our partners, to be able to work with them and then be able to still get the care that they need with us still being in the background. So, a lot has to go into that, and certainly privacy and confidentiality are absolutely huge in everything I do. So with Soul Expression Sessions, I do mainly work with women, executive women, entrepreneurial women, and some men have asked for info too. And it can go across the board. It was just so happens I do a lot with women. And it's looking at the Soulful Living Blueprint that I have, and it's crafting and claiming and creating the life you desire, right? And it's looking at your vision and mission. And what is that? And it comes down to your strengths, the sight you have for what you want to see being done in your life, your destiny path, and that equals your foundation, right? That's the foundation you have that really is going to be what blossoms everything else in your life, right? And then we look at, and in no specific order, we'll look at relationships, health and wellness, spirituality, and career and entrepreneurship. So when we look at relationships, we look at everything from love languages to understanding behaviors, your behavior and others' behavior. Like, why does somebody do that when I do this? I get a lot of that, right? Especially in business. Like, every time I want them to do something, they don't do it. Well, we kind of look at why, because if everyone else had a totally different love language, maybe they're not understanding, or somebody who just needs more words of affirmation will increase their productivity tenfold. So it's understanding these little nuances along the way. And then also with your kids, with your spouse, with your partner, in your community, how does that play out for who you are, right? Do you have an absolute need to have to speak? Is it because nobody's listening, so you need to have a voice? So we craft what you need and how to do it to give you that voice, but also to do it in such a way that you're heard. So the health and wellness piece is always huge. I mean, we tackle this and all the challenges at a very personal level, and we win. I've had a lot of challenges this year. My cholesterol went way up. My sugar levels went way up. I've had 2 hip replacements while I was in school at university. There was a number of issues still going on that we're really working with. So I've learned an awful lot about that. And as a health coach, certainly I've helped people, lose weight and get into the exercise of life. But it's really looking at how we can put that into a lifestyle that suits you and your family moving forward. So it's not a diet. I don't do diets. And then spirituality, right? Spirituality comes with your inner core. What's your inner core? What moves you? What juices you, right? What are your passions and your godly gifts that you want to bring to the world? And how do we then, match that into your vision and mission for your personality and your life and how you want to go about it? And then, there's career. We look at the warrior and the wizard. Again, it's masculine, feminine energy. How do you deal that? How do you be more feminine when you need to be, or more masculine when you need to be? And what does that look like in all areas, right? In sales and marketing, in HR, in, just promotion. Who do you have to be to stand up to be your best you? And then a contribution. And contribution is a sustainable community, and it starts with you and I. So how do we do that? How do you craft that good feeling causes that you can do without using all of your time to do it? And that was me at one point. In 2013, we did a wheel and all the spikes, and there was more spikes than there were time for me in a day. So I was volunteering everywhere because I needed a sense of something, right? I was busy, but I was just not really accomplishing something for my life. I was accomplishing and serving for everybody else. And you have to step back and at one point find out where that balance is. And the balance is very different for everybody, but you can achieve it and it can change. Some people say, well, I'm out of balance. Well, maybe you needed to tweak the balance. So don't be so hard on yourself. So, executive women who come to me, sometimes it's because they've gone to a conference and they need help. Sometimes it's because they want to make sure that what they're doing in their plan, they have accountability, or sometimes they just want a little laser coaching and call me and say, okay, I just thought about doing this. And I kind of ask some questions. We talk about what's going on. And then, you get the answer and the problem solved. So it just depends on what you want and the level that you want. But the biggest thing this year is looking at the whole person. It is looking at the amazingness that you have, the greatness that you bring to the world, and how do you craft that into everything that feels right and feels perfect for you.
Perfect. Wow, you have a way of articulating these issues that so many of us are facing. Mental health is, I would say, the number one issue on the planet because
True.
If you don't have your mental health, you're not going to make good decisions. And without getting into politics, we probably could name a few people right now that have probably made some bad decisions, and mental health probably has a lot to do with it. So what you're doing is just amazing. And I think you touched upon, Allison, I think one of the critical roles in helping one take the first step toward, improving their mental health is knowing who they are. Know thyself.
Yes.
And you and I have talked a lot about this because we have the same personality, or so-called, based on Jungian psychology, we have very similar personalities. So, and it's intriguing to us. But once you know yourself, and then you get to know the other person, and you know the way they communicate, then you can begin to have good relationships, understanding why people do things, and why they don't do, what makes them operate and function as a human being. Once you lay that kind of foundation, then you can pursue what you were talking about, finding your passion, finding your bliss. Is that something that obviously you do in your sessions with soul expressions sessions?
Yes, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. Like, once you have an idea, and everyone has an idea of, who you want to be, but we've all been taught that you go to school, you get an education, you start in a business, you go up the ladder, you get promoted. And I've had a couple of women recently going, yeah, I'm in a C-suite position, but it's not doing anything for me, right? I made it here. I went up the ladder. I did exactly what I needed to do to get to the next thing, because that's what, our society tells us we have to do, but they aren't fulfilled. They aren't happy. They are just going through the motions, and they're like, but I'm really good at it. And I often tell people, you can be totally skilled at something and be really good at it, but it doesn't mean it fulfills you. You just do it, right? There's, you go to a job, you get it done kind of thing. Monday to Friday, it's Friday. Oh my gosh, I got to go home now. And right, you shouldn't be working for the weekend. You should be just living your life. And that's like, a big thing for a lot of people right now, because pivoting is scary, right? We go through little changes, up the little wheel to get to the next level in business, but it may not be exactly what it is you want. Because I've had some people actually leave jobs because they loved the job they had. They were very fulfilled. They were happy. They would go home with no stress at night, but they were told, oh, you're really great. We love what you do. We're promoting you to this. And then instead of saying, well, no, I want to stay in my job, they went, oh, okay. Because they didn't think they had a voice to say no. And they're off on stress leave, because getting to that next level, and now you're doing things that they just did not think they wanted to do, and now know they don't want to do them. It caused so much stress that they couldn't even do the job to be promoted. So there's those type of things where, I hate to hear it, but I do so often that, oh, I shouldn't have taken the promotion, or I shouldn't have left that business, or, change is hard for a lot of people. You and I love change, right? We're those type of people that, I love being more educated. I love learning. I love sharing. We love, we could move cities. We could, talk to different people about our businesses. And that is what juices us up. But not a lot of people are like that. So it's saying, you're okay. That's okay, right? But now let's craft what you need. And if it's a specific job, then you need to communicate that to your boss. You need to communicate that to HR, saying, I love what I do. I don't want another job. I will come to you if I want a promotion, kind of deal, because we never thought we could do that before. So there is a lot that's going on for sure.
Yeah. Well, communications, you have to know what your passion is. And then when you embrace that, you definitely need to communicate that to the people that you're interacting with, that you're working with, collaborating with. And is that what you in soul sessions, I should say soul expression sessions? Is that are there certain exercises that you you work on, or that you like? If I wanted to, let's say I was struggling with my job, or having, emotional problems, not only at work but at home, can someone go to soul expression sessions and connect with you? And do you go through a whole, what is the procedure or onboarding where you can help someone?
Oh, yes. You can go to soulexpressionsessions.com and book through my Calendly link. We'll have a 1-hour chat, find out where you're at, find out what's in your soul. What do you want to do, right? What's stressing you out, right? What keeps you up at night? And is it because your health and wellness isn't in place, so everything else falls apart? Is it, money? Money is huge right now for a lot of people, and money has a lot of emotion around it. So with the chaos that's happening in the world, and the price of gas going up for no apparent reason, and the price of food going up, there is just that much more anxiety. It's causing depression. It's causing people, to binge Netflix. It's all those kind of things that are compounding. So once you give me a call, we talk through that. We see where you want to go, where you want to start. And then, I meet you where you're at. It's not, we have to go through this, but we want to start with vision and mission and look at what your foundation is. So the rest that you do will be as easy as you want to make it. And there's, calls, and there's worksheets, and there's, some videos, and, books, and you'll have a chance to be able to, really think about what it is that you want to do for the rest of your life. And if you need resources, we get them for you. If you want more tools, we get them for you. I have some guest speakers that come in sometimes to help coach as well, who are, maybe better at what it is that you want to tackle one week. So I have a lot of resources that I definitely look to bring into what I'm doing, because I want, again, your whole person to, in a year from now, go, oh my gosh, I never thought I could get here. I'm happy. I am blissful. And we tend to either chase something, right? I want to chase a number on a scale. I want to chase a number in my bank account. I want to do XYZ. And I want you to think about, what if I could just find happiness? It's very simple to say, but 9 times out of 10, people go, well, I hate my job, or I hate my boss, or I hate the hours I work, right? Oh, I don't like what I weigh, but you're eating nachos, right? And it's, we do that because it somehow soothes who we are, right? We don't do a lot of self-care, or we think self-care is going out for, chocolate cake and a glass of wine. So it's just, and yes, those things are good. I love them. But, it's a time where, right, they're off my diet right now, and that's okay. And that's something I want people to sort of take away, is that you can be amazing right where you're at, and we can strip away the crap on the outside, and you have this beautiful, beautiful, wonderful butterfly coming out. And I want to help you get there.
Yeah, I like moving to this side of the picture, because then you can see your face. There's a book. What's that book right there that you're holding up?
The Becoming an Unstoppable Woman Entrepreneur.
And where can people get? Can they go on Amazon and get that?
They can get it on Amazon, or they can get it on my website. It'll be faster to them on Amazon, because I am in Canada. So.
And then this one over here. What is this one? This book?
That's the back of the book. So that's all 26 authors that are in the book, and it's Canada, US, Australia, Malaysia, and Ireland. So
wow.
I now have new friends from all over the world, and it's just absolutely amazing. So, and it's wonderful to collaborate and learn from other women, which is just such a powerful thing right now going on in the world. And we want to build that, right? Between soul expression sessions, between the Wealthy Women's Entrepreneurs Movement, and She Rises Studios. We are all a bunch of women who want to lift each other up, raise each other up, get everyone making some money. So, it takes a lot of stress off, and then teach you how to not stress about these things. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year.
Yeah, well, they're all Wonder Women, and it's so exciting. And you mentioned economics, how economics plays a role in every day. You go to the store, and inflation, food prices are up, gas prices are up. Maybe you're out of work right now, and you're on the, as they say in England, you're on the dole, which is nothing's wrong with that. It's not easy, but you and I, Allison, met through this amazing industry, direct sales,
Yes.
where you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. It's your business. It's a 1099. So you're the boss. But a lot of people don't know what it's like to be the boss. And a lot of people don't know the power of geometric growth. When our good friend, Jimmy Smith, who's the number one earner in a network marketing company called Isogenics, he said the only way you fail in the business is by quitting, which is true, because I have done it. I've joined companies and then I've quit, and then I've joined and then I quit. And if I didn't quit, it would have been a different story. So probably in the last 5 years, the companies that I join, I'm not quitting on them. They're going to have to quit on me. I'm just going to keep plodding a little bit. And we have a mutual friend, Allison, named Udonna Powers, who is writing a book called The Franchise. Not franchise, but the franchise that through word of mouth marketing and through this mechanism of rewarding sharing. And so you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's how we met.
Absolutely. And I think it was in 2012, so it was a decade ago. But it's one of those things that when you're in business and everyone says, oh, it's so easy to do. Well, and it's easy to do or it's easy not to do. But it comes down to learning new skills, because you have to have consistency and dedication, but you also have to have some discipline. And a lot of people don't have that, especially
and patience.
Yes.
Not me.
I know. It's like, oh, come on. But you're right, because it really makes you into the person who is a leader, because you have to demonstrate these things. You have to demonstrate how you're doing stuff, share information. You are probably have an entire crew that isn't in your backyard, so you can't just go to Starbucks and have a coffee with everybody. So you're on Zoom or you're doing presentations, but it gets you to be able to command what you want to make. It's the only industry I've ever been in where if I wanted a raise, I worked another 2 hours a day, right? So and I love it because I love the camaraderie, right? We're all working together to help each other. And as much as it's my business, I know I can go to Michael for stuff. In another business, I can go to Chris, I can go to Denise, I can go to Sue and say, hey, I need someone to do a presentation for my group. They're there to do it. So it's that kind of thing where I don't have to have inventory, right? You don't have to have employees. You don't have to have all the costs you did. Because I had 2 gyms. And my first gym cost me $87,000 to open. And I got some great deals. And my second gym cost me $15,000 because I was a little smarter the second time. But you don't have those costs. You have the cost of the product you want to use. And then you share it. And I think it's an awesome model because it gets you out of your comfort zone to talk to people and to really relate to the why you have what you have. Why are you in this business? Why do you have this product? What has it done for you? So it's been a nice addition and, even collaboratively within what I do to be able to share some products that we've used, that I've used, that, a lot of women have referred to me. Then we're sharing something that is doing better for ourselves, doing better for our families. And you know what? It's adding a little more money to the bottom line. If you want to get a car payment or send your kids to college, that type of thing grows over time. And it's just loving on people and sharing what you have. Oh, you're muted.
I was just going to say, sharing is caring.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, Allison, and timing. There also is important to know timing is everything. And if you just keep, getting up to the plate, in the baseball analogy, if you just keep swinging the bat and enjoying the process, be grateful, having gratitude. I'm sure you talk a lot about that, Allison, but just swinging and the timing. And that's one of the things about New Me. And I'm going to put Allison's link down here for New Me. New Me is this new technology that I didn't know about. I did not know much about glutathione, and I did not know about hydrostat nanotechnology. I knew nothing. This was last month, knew nothing. And now I will go everywhere with my New Me because it gives me energy. Glutathione is an antioxidant. It helps me sleep better. It keeps me from moods for me, and everybody's different. And then the skin, I spray this on my face just like this. I mean, it's amazing. I had a friend who burnt her hand, and she put this on her hand. Immediately, the pain was gone. I mean, glutathione is truly amazing. So timing, timing is everything. So if you really want to investigate this new company, there's Allison's website, newme.com / and I love the name, Superior Wellness. I like that, Allison.
Thank you. Well, and I loved it too. I mean, we are both geeks when it comes to different technologies, and I love nanotechnology. I have for about 15 years now. How, your body does things differently, and I love how this delivery system, the swish, and you literally just swish it, has a better uptake. Because I used to be in another company for the glutathione because I need it because I've had a hysterectomy and oophorectomy in my 40s. Well, that does so many crazy things to women. We could talk for hours, but it is a wonderful, wonderful antioxidant, like Mike said, to be able to help repair, go straight into your cells. You're right, straight into mitochondria. It's going to really help with everything. Right? Women who are perimenopausal tell me, oh, they can't sleep. I said, I think I have a product for you, right? Because there's a lot of things happening in your body, hormones in your body, and the glutathione is definitely going to be amazing for that. I am a vitamin junkie. I love learning more about it. You're swishing. And you're muted. You're muted, Mike.
There we go. I think it's a Freudian slip. I want to not talk, but I can't help. I was swishing. I was doing the swish.
Nice.
Yeah. So as you know, Allison, on the dot, you get the last word, and whatever you want. I mean, you can talk about peace on our planet. You can give this beautiful message that you've been giving to the amazing women of the world. There's a lot of men out there that need your help as well. So again, I want to thank you so much, Allison, for coming on the dot. And you get the last word. And namaste, my friend. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Well, to all of you listening, thank you so much for being here and for staying this long and listening to us. And I think what I'd like to say is the soul expression sessions and everything I do and what I do with Mike is about a philosophy, right? And it's a way of life. It's a way of giving back and being of service. And for us, it's about joyful living. And it's learning how to be in that soul that you really, really want to bring to the world. What juices you in the morning, what gets you going. When people see you go by, they go, oh my gosh, I love their energy. They just walk into a room and don't even have to say a thing. And you just get this burst of amazing energy. And that's what I want for you, because you can be an extrovert, an introvert, tall, short, black, white. It doesn't matter, because to me, what matters is I love everybody, and I want you all to understand your greatness and your amazingness and your uniqueness. Every culture that has to share with each other, every person who comes with different experiences, because life's too short to live just by accident anymore. right? By someone else's plan, by someone else's idea of where you want to go. I want you to think today. And if you close your eyes, not driving, if you close your eyes and you can picture that amazing life, let's work to get there. I know at one point I closed my eyes and I had no picture because I stopped dreaming. I stopped thinking of possibilities and what could possibly be better. So I want for you to feel into a future that is amazing and something that will help you leave legacies, help you take care of yourself, your family, your community, your church, whatever is it for you, right? And this goes to anyone in the world. I know there's a lot of chaos going on right now. And the more we send out our love and our energy and the peace that we need here, it's going to be much better. And I remember Mother Teresa, they said, come to this rally, it's about anti-war and all this stuff. And she said, if you have a peace rally, I'll show up. Because that's what she stood for. And I absolutely love that, because that's what I stand for, is the peace in your heart, the peace in your soul, the peace in your mind to say, I'm living my best life, and share that with others. Thank you for listening, and God bless.